So you guys clicked on this video because you want to learn how to use keyframes on CapCut. That way you can do all the cool edits like panning your camera around instead of your videos, or having your video fade when you need to so you can do any unique highlighting inside your video. Well, I'm your guy, so I'm going to show you how to do it. So what exactly are keyframes inside of CapCut? They're basically these little triggers inside the CapCut system that you can place throughout the video to kind of tell the system exactly when to actually do something within the video. Like, for instance, you can use the keyframes to kind of set up the video to where you can have the camera pan if you're trying to keep track of something within the video. You can also set it with the opacity as well, so that way if you do need something to kind of like fade in the video at a certain point, you can also have it fade. Heck, you can also mess with the audio settings as well to actually have the keyframes cue when it's time to lower the audio and also raise the audio up if you need to have something said in the video that is probably a little bit hard to hear. You can basically do just about a lot of unique creative stuff with these keyframes, but for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna just teach you guys the basic gist of how to set up these keyframes for when you make edits inside the future. So for right now, I am going to try and teach you guys how to actually pan the camera inside your video so that way you can make unique edits like I do in some of my videos. So normally what I like to do is I like to kind of just find the area in the video where I want to make these edits, and I just split the video right there. You guys don't have to necessarily do this if you use keyframes in your videos. I personally just like doing it so that way I can keep track of where exactly in the video I'm going to have these keyframes placed. But whatever inside the clip that you pretty much split it, what you're going to do is make sure that you set the keyframes on the current keyframes. Don't change it yet, but the first keyframe that you set is at the start of this clip here, and that it sets on the kind of normal settings that it was before you made the edits. Now in this case it's set at 316% because I did kind of zoom in on the video a bit since this is in a 9:16 format, and obviously a lot of people are not going to be able to see everything in a 9:16 format, so I decided to zoom it in so everyone can kind of just have a better picture of the video. But before you pretty much make any edits, make sure you place the first keyframe here. And when you start getting to the areas of the video where you're kind of trying to follow whatever it is in the video that you're trying to follow, you can place the secondary keyframe here, and from there you can kind of start to slowly move the video over so that way you can keep track of what you're trying to keep track of. Now in this case, in this clip, I'm trying to keep track of Yoshi here since that's who the character I was playing as in Smash, and obviously people are not going to know what's going on if they can't see exactly where I'm going and stuff. So we're just going to keep doing that. And then for any future keyframes, again, if you kind of just want to move the camera a bit more, you can just create a third keyframe and boom. You can easily just do that, and you can easily keep track of whatever it is that's inside the video. So let's see how far we did so far. And yeah, there we go. That's pretty much how you pan the camera, guys, if you guys came here to freaking click on that. But I'm also going to go into more depth as to what to do and kind of what not to do when you make keyframes, specifically when you pan the camera. So in case you guys are kind of wondering or curious, the main reason why I kind of had you guys place a keyframe at the start of the clip that are on the normal kind of defaultish settings, whatever settings they were before you made the edits, is because it helps make the camera move smoothly when you start moving the edits there. See, it's kind of smooth. This is kind of what happens if you take that out and you just start making the edits. It's not going to really be smooth. As you see here, the camera just kind of clips over to where Yoshi is, right? Like it just clips over there, but you know what I mean? It's not necessarily panning the camera. From there, the camera's just kind of jumping and people are going to get confused and lost inside the transition. So you don't want that. Make sure before you do the camera pan transition that the first keyframe or keyframe prior before the keyframe about to add next is on the current position that the video is on before you even think about moving it, because then it's not going to look clean. This same kind of rule of thumb that I have for keyframes pretty much also applies when you try and add keyframes using the opacity to kind of darken the video a little bit. And the same rule also applies if you're trying to actually lower the volume throughout the entire video, or raise it as well. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this, rule of thumb number 2 as well. Make sure the reason why I'm clicking on the scale here and adding a keyframe from the scale is on the off chance you want to zoom in on anything inside the video. You can just easily do that inside of the keyframe that you put down, or the next keyframe as well. Now of course you can't really see too much of the effect here because again I'm already very much zoomed in on this video, but it pretty much works. Now it is an important thing to keep in mind that of course the style of edit that you want to go for this will depend completely on where you actually place your keyframes. Because the style that I showed you, for instance, at the start of the video was pretty much just how to pan the camera pretty fast. So that way it keeps track of whatever you're trying to keep track of pretty fast and swiftly. But I haven't shown you guys how to actually make the camera pan very slowly. And for that, what you do is that you set the keyframe, your first keyframe, whatever it is inside the clip, and you leave it there, like on the default settings. And then on the second keyframe, you simply just, you put it wherever you want in the video that you want to pan slowly towards. And when you find that spot that you want to pan slowly towards, you can pretty much tell the video that, hey, I want this to go over to the right pretty goddamn slowly. So that way we can have like a random funny moment inside of your clip or something. So to keep that in mind, if you want to go slow, make sure to space out your keyframes, but if you kind of want the camera to pan pretty fast, you're going to need to put the keyframe like slap dang close over to the first keyframe that you put with the default settings on, so that way it just moves over very quickly. Hang on, let me fix this real quick. Yeah, so that way it just moves over like pretty quickly here. See, the distancing and spacing the way you place the keyframe will tell it when to trigger. And the same rule pretty much also applies to if you're trying to have the video fade with the opacity, or if you're trying to lower the audio as well. They can sometimes do it very slowly, so that way you have a better transition. But other than that, yeah, that's basically gonna do it for this tutorial video on how to really use keyframes. Again, they're really kind of simple to understand once you just play around with them for a little while, but it can be a bit confusing on how to actually get them to work the way you kind of want them to inside the video. The way how professionals do it in their YouTube shorts and whatnot. But if you guys are still confused, or you have any questions or concerns in this video that I didn't go over, please let me know inside the comments, and I'll try my best to see if I can answer any questions you have on the keyframes with CapCut, specifically with the PC version. I'm pretty sure most of the same rules that happen on the PC version should work on the mobile version. If not, correct me in the comments, but other than that, stay tuned for any more content that I put out in the future. Peace out.